Hello everyone, welcome to today's lesson on domain, codomain, and range. So in this video, we're going to explore these concepts in a clear, simple way using mapping diagrams, guiding questions, and real-life examples. So we will also work through part of a practice sheet I designed, and by the end of this lesson, you'll understand not just the answers, but the reasoning behind them.
Okay, so hi everyone. Now that we know our concept, let us um, have our three main goals. So our goals for today was to understand the concept, the reason through mappings, and recognize how these ideas appear in real life. So we focus on understanding rather than rushing to answers. So keep a pencil and paper handy because we'll pause at key points for you to try examples yourself. Now, let's start with a simple idea, the concept of relation. So, a relation is simply a pairing, connecting one thing to another. So here are some examples. A student and a bus they ride, a vending machine button and the drink that comes out, and a number and its doubled value. So we can also write a relation by an ordered pair such as student and bus. Think of a relation in your daily life. Maybe it's your favorite food and the time you eat it. That's a relation too. Now, understanding relations leads us to an important question. What makes a relation becomes a function? Write down your initial thoughts and we'll revisit this question um, after you have your initial thoughts. You can pause the video right away because I will be proceeding right away. Now, let's answer that question by defining what a function really is and how it differs from any ordinary relation. X is the output, so in ordered pair, X is the input rather, and Y was the output. So think about this. You ride, you're a student that rides two buses at the same time. So is it possible? No. So that's not a function. You try a vending machine and you you want to pick you want to pick Royal or Coke, but um the button that was pressed has different drinks that gives you. So that's unpredictable and it's not a function. So a function class is um, predictable and reliable. So every input has clear and single outcome. Now, now that we know what a function is, we can break it down into its key components, the domain, codomain, and range. These will help us identify and describe functions clearly. Now I have an example right here. Oh no, let's define first. Domain is the first element of ordered pairs. So the bold one right here, these are your domain. Domain or the input. That's uh that's how you remember what domain is. Domain is equals input. Now codomain is the all second elements belong. So all the second elements, whether that codomain doesn't have a partner or an input, so that's called domain. Now range is the actually related second elements to the first elements. So codomain, it can be called codomain whether you have a partner or not. But is um, range is not about being a second element, but range is an actually related second element. Yes, they are second element, but they should have a domain or an input. So the codomain examples right here are the one, I no order, the 5, 4, and 3. So this is our codomain. But what we use with a pair of input was the 5 and 4. So those numbers are what we can call the range. Although the codomain is 5, 4, and 3, but the range was only 5 and 4. So I hope you won't misunderstood that part, the codomain and range, because that's where the hard part of math, uh, having a misconception of the topic or the key concept now. So understanding the definitions is important, but let's see them in action with a concrete example. Examples of this was in arrow diagram. The input was 1, 2, and 3, and the output was A, B, and C. So notice how the arrows tell the story. You don't need to memorize formulas. You just follow the arrows. So watch carefully. Where do the arrows start? So this right here is our ordered pair. So where do the arrows start? That is your domain. And where do the arrows end? That is your range. So we can clearly see that 1 right here has a range of A, 2 right here has a range of B, while 3 right here has a range of C. Although we can call this output, but we can also call this as a range, output, or a codomain. Now, let's take practice in identifying domain, codomain, and range using this mapping diagram. So this was read as the function of 12 set A maps to set B. So set A right here are the set of numbers, and set B right here was the set of letters. So the R domain is the set of numbers. Now, can you tell what our codomain is? That's right. Our codomain right here is the set of letters. Now, we can also write this in an ordered pair to identify what are the range of this function. So, the ordered pair of this function was 12m, 9b, 7p, and 10s. So you can clearly see right here what are the range. So the range is also the all of the codomains that are present because all of the codomains have a partner. We'll apply the same reasoning to a real life situation, um, students assigned to buses. Let's analyze it carefully. So take a screenshot of this arrow diagram and think critically using these questions. Does every student have exactly one bus? Does any student have one more than one arrow? And do multiple students sharing a bus matter? So remember, functions care about inputs, not outputs. So you can pause here to fill in your practice sheet and mark your reasoning. So to make sure we reason correctly, we'll use those guiding questions while answering your practice sheets. And also, you can use this question to guide your thinking. Does every input have one output? Are there any related inputs? And is the relation a function? So let's go back to the arrow diagram. Okay. You can pause this video and answer this practice in your worksheet. Take your time to answer carefully. Don't just look for answer. Explain why that is your answer. Okay? So let's look at another relation to see how repeated outputs affect whether it's a function or not. So here is the new relation. Let's identify first the domain range and whether it's a function. So using your guide questions, you can clearly identify the domain and the range of this relation. So notice, did you notice about the outputs? Yes, the output 7 appears twice. But let's remember, this does not break the rule. As long as each input has one output, it's okay. It's still a function. Now, if you're done answering, it is our time to apply your skills to a real life scenario. Let's see how the concepts work in problem solving. So try this. The school principal wants to assign students to buses for a field trip. So given the relation below, relation is equal to Alice bus 1, Bob bus 2, Charlie bus 1, David bus 3, Eve bus 2, and Frank bus 1. Answer these questions. If a student appeared twice with two different buses, is that allowed? And does this make the relation a function? Ask this yourself. How can we reassign the students to avoid overload but still follows the rules of a function? So what does the rules of a function? The domain cannot be a cannot be repeated. However, the codomain can be repeated. So one input for one output. You can repeat your output that you can't repeat your input. Now, you can use arrows, tables, or reasoning, whichever helps you think clearly. So you can pause here to complete this part of your worksheet. So this is a higher order thinking. So take your time. Now, before we finish, um, let's check your understanding with a short formative assessment. So this will help you see if you grasp the main ideas. So this is the formative assessment. It was also right there in your worksheet. This is, you can pause the video to answer the question honestly. So don't rush because reasoning matters more than speed.
Great work today, students! You explored domain, codomain, and range using real examples and reasoning-based questions. So you analyzed mappings, interpreted relations, evaluated functions, and even solved a real-life assignment problem. So just always remember that understanding functions begins with recognizing accurate input and output relationships. So if you ever get confused, go back to the arrows, They always tell this story. Thank you for learning with me today. Keep practicing, keep asking questions, and keep exploring how mathematics connects to everyday life. See you next time!